winter, it freezes and the ground pushes things up, water, anything. These tiles have been pushed up and they're actually sitting on the forest floor.
Like cops working a crime scene, we'll tag everything significant. A single tile isn't enough. If there's a tomb here, there'll be more clues.
We're looking for linear shapes in the ground, and as we started walking around here, we noticed rocks that start to kind of line up.
This could be the foundation of a building, but more work needs to be done. We've brought the electromagnetometer. It's a great tool for looking under the ground.
The string is like here. Okay, you have to follow the line with the sensor in perpendicular direction.
Okay.
All right?
So like this.
Archaeological remains have distinct magnetic properties. The electromagnetometer reads these as anomalies and creates a map of what's man-made beneath the surface. Once the scanning is done, we'll send the data through our satellite uplink to a processing lab. If there's something down there, we will see it by morning.
Ready?
Morning at the foot of the sacred mountain, and there's a surprise from yesterday's scan.
Oh man, we found something. We know it's big.
We just received this data, and we are seeing here a 2D map of the EM survey we made yesterday.
So the blue on the scan is soft, and it's like grass and moss or roots, whereas the red's really exciting for us because above the bedrock, anything that would be there would be man-made. It would be anomalous, like a wall or a tomb chamber. It's really exciting to look at these scans. That's really sweet.
This is very nice.
That's very nice.
That's very nice.
That wall is that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is that.
The data confirms Fred's hypothesis. The stones we found are forming a straight line, and those lines, they gotta be walls. Plus the structure's even bigger than we originally thought.
So we're gonna go back and do a much larger scan because I think that we've just, we've realized that maybe what we stumbled across is bigger than what we thought it was originally. Make sure you prioritize, number one is to make sure that we get the data we need and do anything to make that happen. So go for it, go.
So we break into two teams. Alex Novo and his team expand the search grid at ArcSite 1. Team 2 comes with me and Ishtorch to explore the Sea of Graves, a strange rock formation that past explorers have flagged as the possible ruins of an imperial burial site. With our geophysical tools, we can settle this speculation once and for all. It takes a few hours to ride and hike up the mountain. We arrive at the Sea of Graves. I get it. I see how this place got its name. At the second level, just above the shoulder of the mountain, the ground looks like a graveyard.
This plateau right here has a lot of rocks, a lot of talus field. But what makes this unique is A, its view over the Henty Lake, which is known to have spiritual significance in shamanism and to the Mongol people. Also, they have these little pockets of dirt, like the one I'm standing in front of. And as you can see, it's, I don't know, it seems almost like the size that a tomb would be.
We aren't sure what this is. It could be a burial site. The only way to be sure is to scan it.
Science.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, an epic storm is right on top of us.
Oh man, if you just look into that valley deep down over there, you can see what's coming at us.
Shai, who is still strapped into the imaging gear, is a human lightning rod.
That's looking pretty brutal. Come on, Shai, we gotta go.
Maybe something bigger than all of us doesn't want us to find this tomb.
Off the mountain right now.
What's up, dude?
You guys better pack up and wrap up. It's really, really dumping now. Right on the other ridge. It's gonna come at us right now.
No time to complete the scan. We pack up and get off the highest point of the mountain, fast.
This is Ridge to ArcSite 1. You got some serious weather coming your way. We're heading down right now.
The storm is freaky. I've never seen a front move like that. We made it back to camp, shaken, but in one piece.
Hey, friends.
How'd you guys do? Wow, we got blown off of that ridge. I'm worried a little bit. You know, the toll of the field is taking itself on the crew in general. I mean, everybody's tired. I saw some lightning, too. That's gonna be...
Because that's going to be a bear if you're out there and it's like storming.
The one thing that always takes my breath away, it brings things back to zero, is when we look out across that valley behind me and you can see the most stunning landscape I could ever imagine. But even then, it feels unreal.
The storm passes over us, and in the morning, the weather is improved. And the next day, we're slogging up the mountain again. The muddy trails have been washed out from the rain. I mean, this crazy storm had come through, and we're seeing evidence of it all around us.
Oh, man. Did this just fall?
It just came down.
Trees that had fallen down just across the side of this mountain were everywhere. And there was one right there, right on top of the trail, right across Arc Site 1. I mean, if we had been there any longer that night before, we could have gotten killed. But our fear turned into excitement. I mean, incredible luck.
This tree fell down, and in its roots was the proof that the building extended this far. You see roof tiles, you see bricks, you see ceramics. It's kind of like the mountain gave us a little gift. So we're really pleased about this. So in fact, we now have a rectangular building. It's oriented north and south. In theory, the doorway should be towards the south. So the team has now been sent to the south to see if there is an entranceway, a roadway, or a walkway, which would have led up to this building from the lake. And that's really exciting. That's where the team is right now.
We're not allowed to dig, but nature opened up the ground for us. We need to see what else is down there. So Alex Novo sets up a new tool, the ground penetrating radar, or GPR.
8.83 meters. In the first profile, we hit these two trees. This is extreme radar, certainly.
This cutting-edge tool lets us dig without a shovel to reveal the buried layers of the past. To reveal the buried layers of the past. For the funeral escort carrying Genghis Khan's body north, the difficult journey must have taken months. The shaman would confirm the exact spot for burial once they arrived. According to legend, it was the same site of the lone tree that Genghis Khan sat beneath while out hunting. The great Khan had now returned home to the mountain as he had intended. You know, the reason we don't know where Genghis Khan is buried is not by accident. He chose to hide his burial location. Legend says, once buried, 800 horsemen trampled Genghis Khan's grave. And within a month, a forest grew covering the spot. As if the trees were conspiring to keep his death a secret. Meanwhile, we discover another fallen tree.
The storm last night just pounded at this hillside. And what it's kind of done for us is continue to wash away the layers of the past. And it's given us examples like this, just sitting there in the roots of the trees. I mean, you can see here this perfectly preserved end tile to a ceramic roof, which is beautiful on the front. But what's really interesting to me is when you flip it around on the back and you can actually see the fingerprints of the artisan who made it. I mean, this is amazing because now I'm actually doing the exact same thing, running my fingers across what somebody else did, How long ago, I don't know yet, but we'll find out with thermoluminescent dating.
Luckily for us, thermoluminescent dating can give a very accurate window of when a ceramic was fired.
Yeah, the heating above 500 degrees changes the crystalline structure of the ceramic, and that is locked in. Once it's locked in, we have an ability through a calibration program to be able to look at that and compare it to the soil around it and be able to say exactly when that was fired.
After completing the ground-penetrating radar scan of the expanded search area, we head down the mountain to process the results.
So this is GPR slice data, right? So it allows us to see a 3D view of the structure, and here's your outer wall.
Yep,
Right where you had marked your grid, Fred.
that's our grid.
This is your grid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to read, but the red areas are foundations of walls.
Right on the target. And then as we descend, the wall disappears, and then boom, something's right in the center.
Yep.
The 3D scan holds an even bigger surprise.
It looks like we definitely have a man-made structure here. You had two rectangles, one outside the other, but the one that's in the middle, from this scan, is very obviously below the outer wall.
Could this be a burial chamber underneath some kind of commemorative temple?
This is amazing. This is what the non-invasive tools can do. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good scans.
All right,
Thank
dude.
you.
I know it's too early to jump to conclusions. We need more dates from the pottery and the burnt wood samples. And, Fred's a bit more skeptical than I am because science takes time. I know. We need those dates from the lab. But still, I'm ecstatic. We found this huge buried structure, something that looks like a temple. We're finding pieces scattered across the side of this mountain, which we think is quite possibly the sacred mountain. It makes all the sense in the world geographically to the texts that we have found. And it's right in the center of the forbidden zone. This forbidden precinct, which is still a forbidden area today. My heart is racing, but it's time to break camp. After 15 exhausting days, we're out of time, we're out of provisions, food, gas. We've got to head back.
One in each car.
It's a 3-day slog back to the city, but the distance we've traveled can't be measured in kilometers. It's tough to leave this place, thinking about how much we've accomplished, how much we've found. The next critical step is to date these tiles and wood samples, to see whether they come from the time of Genghis Khan.
Yeah, the large sampling is going to give us that robusticity.
The thermoluminescent and carbon dating results are in. Fred has flown out from DC so we can review them together. I'm nervous as hell, but the news is even better than I'd hoped for.
742 is wood.
Oh my God.
That's exactly the time period. Albert,
It's 1219 to 1275.
Albert, that's
crazy.
That's the sweet spot.
It's amazing what we found. The tiles date from the 13th and 14th century, right around the time of Genghis Khan and his sons.
I was pretty skeptical in the field. I never expected to get 13th and 14th century dates. This is just astonishing.
Oh my God.
So ArcSite 1 contains the remains of a 13th century Mongolian period temple with something extremely compelling beneath it. Is it the lost tomb of Genghis Khan? Well, it's too early to say. The images we have taken indicate that a significant structure was built here. Did the Mongolian leader make it home? We found new evidence that would indicate he did. This site must be protected. Our job is to present the scans and the dating results to the Mongolian government. I'll feel like we've completed our goal if our findings can build a new foundation for conservation and a heightened sense of cultural pride for this sacred mountain. 3 years ago, while sleeping on a friend's couch, I had a dream that took complete hold of me. I set out to find a legendary tomb in a forbidden place. And yet, what I was looking for may have been in plain sight all along. It's been said that if you're searching for Genghis Khan, just look into the eyes of any nomad, and you will find him there.
An architect's dream turns into a nightmare in Tallest Towers, brand new tomorrow at 8. Stay tuned for the truth behind King Arthur.